Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Indexer Office Hours. Today is the 28th of October, only a couple days away from Halloween, and this is Indexer Office Hours 231. Thank you for posting the agenda there, Juan. Very speedy as always. If anyone is new to Index Office Hours, this is the town square where graph ecosystem participants come together and discuss the most important and relevant topics for indexes. As a reminder, this session is going to be recorded and posted onto public channels like YouTube. So if you are concerned about privacy, just bear that in mind. And with that, let's get into today's exciting agenda. As always, well, actually, no, this is different. What I normally do is hand off to Carlos, but today Juan will be taking both Protocol Watch and Repo Watch. So you're going to get him handing the mic to himself for both sections there. So without further ado, Juan, feel free to take the mic.
Thanks, 𝗨𝘀𝗲𝗂. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those Python moments again. For Repo Watch, we have a couple updates. One for execution layer clients. This is for Firehose Ethereum. There's a new version 2.14.1, which has a new endpoint added, which is the B3 streams blocks. It's a yellow urgency update. It's an important update, but it doesn't have immediate critical issues. It is linked in the agenda as always. Then there's a small, and this is a small caveat that I have to mention. Carlos also mentioned it to me, but there is a new tag version for Heimdall v2, which is 0.4.3. The previous one is 0.4.2, but it's not yet tagged as latest. So that's why we're not going to be covering it as we speak, because we're not sure if it's a mistake or is something that's kind of like a beta version or something. But I just want to mention it in case anyone needs to try it out because of issues or whatever. Then for consensus layer clients, we have Prism, which has V6.1.3, which introduces key bug fixes for Beacon API and P2P functionalities, addressing some issues with attestation, validation, and block processing. The improvements also enhance error handling and processing efficiency, which are critical for stable network performance. The urgency for this one is yellow. Again, those are important fixes, but no immediate action is required, again, unless you want to be on the bleeding edge. Then we have Teku, which is 25.10.0, which this update includes critical breaking changes with the removal of specific configuration variables that may affect compatibility with older releases. This is still optional for mainnet. Highly recommended for testnets to ensure compliance with the new specifications. Again, any operator should review their circuit settings accordingly, given that there are some changes to the configuration variables. Again, this is a yellow urgency update. It's not critical, but it does change a few compatibility settings. All of these release notes are in the agenda if you're interested in more detail. Okay, with all that being said, Repo Watch is over. So we're going with Protocol Watch now. I'm not going to be passing to myself. It doesn't make any sense at this point. But yeah, so starting with Protocol Watch, we have a small comment in the request for information about dispute GDR46. If you remember, this is the latest dispute for the indexer that was, copying POIs. The indexer actually got back to us, explained the situation. Unfortunately, it's still, it is still an accepted dispute because it's still breaking the rules. But there was a proposal / kind of a idea from one participant in the community about how to potentially address some of the issues that we're having with reaching out to indexers that are having disputes open, because it might not be immediately obvious for everyone about how disputes work and where they're going to be, the social part of the disputes, where that's going to happen. It should be pretty easy to figure out because it's everything's in the docs in the website. But again, there might be some people that are not aware of these docs or other stuff. So maybe I think the idea mentioned potential mentorships for new indexers. Again, this is just an idea that one of the participants gave us, but we'll be trying to figure out if we can improve the whole process to avoid this kind of like stalled disputes where the indexer is not even aware how to respond, where to respond, maybe not even aware that they have a dispute. I mean, the dispute itself, it's on chain, so there should be no excuses there. But the social aspect is not on chain, and there might be some caveats to that part of the discussion. So if you're interested in, again, all of the things related to disputes, the link is in the agenda as always. For the contracts repository, we have a few small PRs for the issuance allocator, issuance baseline. I think everything is for the everything except for one of the PRs is for the new Oracle that's been developed. But then there's one major PR, which is deploying Horizon to testnet. This means that Horizon is currently live on Arbitrum Sepolia. I think the only, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if we're going to be updating on this today. I don't know if Thomas is going to come or what, but if I'm not mistaken, everything for Horizon and Arbitrum Sepolia has been updated. With everything, I mean both the contracts, the subgraph, as well as the off-chain components, with one minor caveat, which I think Graph Explorer still isn't updated to use the latest updates for the subgraph. So the data on Graph Explorer for Arbitrum Sepolia might be outdated. I'm not entirely sure if it has been fixed as of today, but at least it was not up to date up until yesterday, sorry. So I would assume it might be in the works of being supported, but everything else, every off-chain component, on-chain component, are all upgraded to Horizon for Arbitrum Sepolia. Which also means that the network subgraph, which is the next category, is also updated to Arbitrum Sepolia, which is update 2.0.0. And I link the subgraph itself in the agenda. That's pretty much it for both Repo Watch and Protocol Watch. So I'm now going to be handing over to Kate.
Similar to last week, we had indexing rewards for 𝗨𝗂𝗟, Sepolia, and Unichain going live. So those are kind of the more major updates. We're looking at other chains to pursue for the CIP, so we'll keep you posted on those. And another announcement that was made that I did share here as well is that rewards for boba, blast, fuse, and mode will be deprecated as of November 25th. So we have some time, and I will continue to make timely updates in the indexer announcements to make sure that folks close allocations in a timely manner and can reopen them after that shift, so they can get those rewards before that becomes live. So just keep your eyes on that, and I will keep sharing updates here in IOH to make sure that everybody who's affected by that can make that change in a timely manner. Thanks all.
Amazing. Thank you all for your sections there. I see Matthew's typed a comment here. I'm wondering why it says announcement channel. I'm wondering why it says in the announcement channel that indexer rewards for blast, fuse, mode, and boba will end on November the 25th, 2025. After this date, independent indexers will no longer serve subgraphs for these chains.
They will no longer serve them for rewards. You would only be serving them for queries after that point. So I apologize if the wording is unclear. But they can still be.
I think this is two different announcements from two different entities and two different people. So what you as you mentioned here.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you were referring to mine, and I was like, oh no. Okay.
Yeah,
I apologize.
I recognize that wording. That wording that Matthew is referring to is coming from Edinode. Yes, definitely.
Thank you. Yeah.
And yes, as you point out, Matthew, indexes can still serve and receive query fees on those chains, and we are, Actually, I was talking with Kate about this just half an hour ago about updating some of the comps here. So we'll have a pass on some of these comps that will be going out to developers on
about that, Matthew.
On these chains.
Yeah, we can also see if that message was posted. if Ollie posted that or somebody else from the EdgeNode team, we could probably make just a quick edit to make that a little clearer for folks. Because independent indexers can absolutely serve anything on the network for queries. It's just that indexing rewards will be changing there.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Kate and Slim, for hopping on that to try and align there. Yeah, and good to hear that you guys will be able to nudge EdgeNode to fix that there. Okay, amazing. Any additional thoughts on what was said there? Just want to make sure there's enough space to cover any additional questions on what was mentioned in any of the updates. If there is, feel free to type in the chat. I see Matthew's typing. We'll just nothing more from me. Okay, cool. In that case, we're going to move on to the next segment. So Mickey isn't here, but she last week mentioned that it would be really good to close the loop on a conversation that we had. So Payne, when he was with us, basically collated a bunch of information from indexers about what pain points people are having, the bugs, that kind of stuff with GraphNode. And then he took that to the indexer working experience group, and that list was prioritized and handed off to people to work on, and so I have great pleasure now of introducing Max and 𝗨𝗀𝗂𝗧, or Orion, I should say, who are going to tell us all about the list there and what's been done, and basically closing the loop. I think it was a really good idea for Mickey to suggest that. So yeah, here's the delivery of that session. So Max, 𝗨, feel free to take the mic.
Yeah, I can just set some context. I think we didn't really get a lot more people than when I spent that 1 minute at the start setting the context, but I can just repeat. I saw that there was one person asking in chat that didn't catch what the session would be about, but a while back when I joined the current role that I have in the foundation, my intention was to have the indexing community work a lot more closely with the foundation and with the core dev teams. And one part of that was revamping the index experience working group, a call with the indexes. Well, that previously was an internal call, and now we are inviting indexers to join. And some of the indexers here on this call, such as Mark and Ray, and others have been very instrumental in these calls, and we are discussing upcoming protocol changes, workshopping, things like the eligibility oracle that's coming up. And one of the segment that we want to be a recurring segment is to go through some of the GraphNode issues and GraphNode feature requests and triage them so that the GraphNode team have a better idea of what the indexer community would want and where the pain points are. And speaking of that as well, we via input out now, there's well, Max is contributing to the GraphNode team, and some of that time is earmarked to work on these issues that we are surfacing. So trying to make sure that everything is a little bit more closer, like it was when during like mission control and other times when we were working a lot more closely between indexers and foundation and core teams. So yeah, that is the point of this session, is to just close the loop on some of that. Like some of these things are issues and feature requests that indexers brought up in the index experience calls, and that Max have been working on, and that we can now kind of close the loop on. And so yeah, that's all I have on my end there. Over to Max, I guess.
Hi everyone. Let me share just list of yeah, I don't know if that was shared with you, like the whole list of issues that have been prioritized.
I just shared it now in the chat.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been tackling some of those in the past month. I can give a quick update on some of those. So they've been ranked by priority, and I've started with the ones with the highest priority. So, for example, the first one is implement a way to clean up the code cache. So it was I don't know if I should open, but basically to automate the cleaning of the code cache because it could get quite big. So with discussion with the HMO team, initially we decided to split it in two stages. First is to extend the current Grafman command. So you can pass, for example, time to live in days. So it will look into contracts that have not been accessed, for example, for a specific time, and then clean all the cache entries for those contracts. This one is actually already merged, and probably in the next version of GraphNode will be added in the next version of GraphNode. The idea is to initially test how the cleaning will be handled by database, because we've set some limits, batched some of the filters and deleting stuff in batches. So just to test out how it behaves, and after that we can add that as a recurring job that can be configured. But the part with the recurring job is basically done, but yeah, it waits on the testing on the Grafman command. Another issue that was brought was making the Go and Bo cache configurable. So basically you can turn them off and bypass them if you are running your own RPC nodes. So that one's also in progress. The code cache is pretty straightforward. Unfortunately, that's not the case with the block cache, as it's used for other stuff, and there aren't, well, it will require a lot of changes, including to the database. So for now, it's like put on hold, and basically I'm focusing on more issues that can be resolved faster. And there's one I've added myself here, but it was again related to the code cache, saving or caching bad responses, usually empty. Basically, in some cases, the RPC nodes will return an empty response. It will be saved in the cache, but after that, when GraphNode tries to decode it, it will fail, and actually, well, it will be handled as a revert, but that entry will be still in the cache, and next time it will return again the bad response. So that was fixed as well. Its merge should be probably included in the next GraphNode version. Another one that is done and is waiting to be merged is exposing the table sizes for the deployments. It includes basically the total size of the namespace for, of all tables in the namespace for a specific deployment. And you have a total size, total number of rows, and separately you can see also just the table sizes, the index sizes, and the those table sizes. So and yeah, it should be hopefully merged soon and also probably included in the next version of GraphNode. Another one that is currently in progress and I'm looking into and researching how can be added is automating the setting of the account-like optimization. There are some caveats to that, and yeah, I had discussions with Derek about that, and also today brought it to the Edge and Note team on the stand-up, and probably will have some more discussion how to implement that so it's working properly because in some cases that optimization could actually hurt the performance. So yeah, and those are currently that are either done or in progress. I think that list is public, so if anyone wants to take a look and maybe wants to change the priority of some of the issues, I guess that, and have discussions about some of them, or wants to add something that thinks is important also, would be nice. So yeah, I guess that's the update from my side for now. If anyone has any questions about, you can go ahead and ask me.
Alrighty, folks. Any questions, thoughts? Anything? I'm sure people, sure there must be something. Maybe what you can do, Slim, is if you have any additional context you want to share or things you want to mention, then feel free to. Maybe that might inspire some more questions.
One hour later.
I see Vincent's typing. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good to see people appreciate the effort that's being made to make these improvements. That's good. That's good to see. Alrighty, well, if there aren't any pressing questions, then we can move on. Maybe what we can do is, Slim, we mentioned that we'd use your content that we've been talking about, the survey results as like a thing that we can continuously bring up in the IOH. Maybe it might be a good idea to spin that up again and talk to a few of the items there. Would you reckon? I saw that you were just typing there. Just let me know your thoughts.
Yeah, you can, if you give me a couple of minutes to pull those up, I can definitely continue from where we left off last time. Meanwhile, maybe if there's any other like feature requests that are currently open, there's 340 feature requests on issues that have been open on the GraphNode repo. So if there's anything else there that indexers want to bring up, we will continue with our like bi-weekly sessions where we will be going through some of these, but it will be paused a little bit for now. But if there's anything that indexers know is already in that list and that they want to bring to this group, that is also more than valid, and we will prioritize those requests as well. But yeah, so if you give me just a minute to pull up the
Notion.
indexer feedback form, I'll yeah.
Amazing.
Just give me a minute and all.
Yeah, of course, take your time. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, just to repeat what Slim said, if there's any issues there that people are in particular would like to you know, discuss in particular or have prioritized in particular, then this is a fantastic venue to make that preference known. So yeah, any thoughts, guys? You know, links, Slim's obviously linked all the issues that are on the GitHub there in that link. So yeah, would love to hear people's thoughts as we're just waiting here to go into the next segment. So yeah, folks, fire away. Any thoughts, questions, any sort of ideas about what people would like to see? I'd love to hear people's thoughts. I see we have someone typing. Oh, no longer typing. I think D Werner is from Edge, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Also, I think, are you actually working I think you're working in GraphNode, right? With Ford, I believe so. Oh, I see you're unmuted, but I can't hear you. Maybe you've got push to talk enabled. Maybe it might be worth disabling that.
Can you hear me now?
Ah, yes, fantastic. Yeah.
Yes, I'm at EdgeNode.
Yeah.
I'm not working on GraphNode at this moment.
Oh, okay. Nice. Did you I see you were typing. Did you want to share something?
No, I was typing the wrong window.
Oh, okay. All good. Cool. Well, yeah, if anyone has any thoughts on the issues that we have there, this would be a great opportunity to make your voice heard so that we can loop back and make sure that you know, whatever you want to be implemented gets implemented. So yeah, would love to hear thoughts if anyone has any. Yeah, far away. Oh, I see Slim's unmuted. Have you got the Notion up?
I did, and there is also one other item that I could also potentially just touch on quickly. As we know, the rewards eligibility oracle have been talked about quite a bit on these sessions, and I believe there will be another upcoming session talking more in detail about that one as well. I could give just a quick update on what's happening with that and in the governance process, and also some of the things that we're working on with regards to showing that data to indexers so they can be sure that they are eligible and they can follow along. So I could give a small update there first, and then we can dive into the indexer feedback report. So the council have voted on the rewards eligibility proposal, and all 6 council members have approved that proposal. So there will be a rewards eligibility oracle, and to just remind everybody that may not have been around on all of these sessions, it was worked on also on the same index experience working group calls. We had 2 dedicated sessions. We've had a couple of sessions here in IOH, and there have been a couple of requests from indexers. One was that we start with the bare minimum eligibility criteria so that indexers can get familiar with the rewards eligibility oracle before they need to make any significant changes to how they operate. And that was taken into account. So we are now starting with an indexer only need to serve one single query on one single valid query, and they will be eligible for 14 days. So every 14 day, for every 14 days, you will need to serve that one query on one subgraph, which is the bare minimum. We are still working out on the details of where you will be able to see what the current criteria are and how the criteria may evolve in the future. But that is the proposal that the council have voted on so far. If you want to follow that vote, it's here on snapshot. So 6 out of 6 council members voted on it. And that will also have the links that you may need. And the other request that indexers had was that there is a way for them to check if they are eligible, which we have created an initial dashboard for. I have some requests there. I still need to do like a code review after this. It's not me but it's Paolo from the foundation that have built this, and I will be reviewing that the code looks good. And I have a couple of requests, but I can show what we have so far, and if there's any suggestions there. It's something that we can definitely change. So as I mentioned, the indexers would need to serve a query every 14 days. So that means that indexers would either be eligible if they were updated to having served a query in the last day. They will be eligible. If they haven't served in the last day, but they have served in the last 14 days, they will be in a grace period. And if they have not served a query in the last 14 days, they would be ineligible. This oracle have been running on Sepolia for the last couple of months, but it's actually using mainnet data. So this is accurate to the extent that I haven't read through the code of this dashboard. Like I was not intending to show this today. I just wanted to give you a peek of what's being worked on. So I haven't verified the code. I can't I can't validate that. But if the code is correct, this is data directly from mainnet. It's just that it's being the oracle itself is posting to testnet just so we can test and see that everything is working as intended. So this is every once a day. It will renew and update. This is just showing because of how Etherscan is working with dates. It's showing a little bit weird with 2 of the 2 days, but it's it's once a day. This is, I think, like time zone shenanigans here. And well, maybe it's not exactly 24 hours. So I guess it might be epoch based. So yeah, this oracle will post who is eligible every epoch, and will be posting that as a list. And you could go and directly interact with this smart contract to see if you're eligible, but we wanted to make it a little bit more easier to see. And you can even you can look at here, like there's a is eligible read method that you can use to check if you are eligible. You can get the get eligibility period will give you 14 days currently, but that may change. And you have the renewal time that will tell you when was the last time you were marked as eligible. So this is the Oracle smart contract, and we are visualizing that in the dashboard. So the only thing that I added that I also want, I want another column for the MVP that says when it was last updated with a link to that transaction, so that indexes can verify, and so especially so that indexes can verify that when they're in the grace period, that they the grace, like exactly when is the grace period running out, and all of that. So I want to have a new column saying last renew that. Or, but yeah, initial findings here is that of these indexes, and these are indexes that have open allocations, there's basically 37% would not have not served the queries in the last 14 days. Again, take it with a grain of salt. This may definitely be something that is due to, and like this is simply how it will look like. The actual people here, I will need to go through and review the code to make sure that everything looks good. But there's any initial thoughts on how this should be should be visualized, and then do let me know. Another thing that I do want for the MVP is to have a second page that shows upcoming criteria, because we will also deploy a second as these criteria evolve over time. We will deploy a second oracle, and that will have the upcoming criteria. So you will be able to see if you're eligible under current and under upcoming ones. So, and again, if you see someone here that shouldn't be in the list, it could be that the code isn't working as intended of the dashboard itself. We have verified the Oracle code itself, but the dashboard was just worked on just recently, and I was out of office last week, so I couldn't verify. But yeah, cool. That is what we have on that. Looking forward to having, to working more with indexes on this and the criteria, because we definitely want indexes that are not providing a value on the network to be either incentivized to deliver a higher quality of service. By that I mean, either you serve queries or you are not eligible for indexing awards, or we want them to leave the network and leave those rewards for value-adding indexes. We currently have a issuance rate of 317 million GRT per year, which is quite sizable and should be enough to meet the demand, pay for the indexes to serve and meet the demand on the graph network. And I would, so that is like one of the multiple initiatives that we have to improve the particle economics. And going back to that, we did start a couple of weeks ago going through the feedback that indexes gave to. Right. Yeah. Let me first go and look at the questions here. Let me see. Move it back here. So will it show and explore the eligibility? Polly asks. That is a good question. It should definitely be, and that is on the list as well, is to have some form of some way of informing indexes. Informing delegators that are delegating that they may be delegating to somebody who's no longer eligible for indexing rewards, as that will also directly impact them. Again, I see Sig Machine there. Thank you for posting the link. Again, this may change as we develop it. This was just ad hoc. I decided to just, okay, we can show this since we have some time on IOH. This is what we have so far. Yeah, there's a pretty big naughty list. I looked at some other numbers, and around, I think that this is kind of, let me see here. I think it was around 30% of indexes are not serving a single query when I looked at it. And around 80% of that is sent, 30% of indexes are not serving a single query. But that is actually, if you're looking at the larger list of indexes that are serving some queries, those are actually the smaller indexes. Indexes that are not serving a single query. Many of them are quite large and is taking quite a large amount of the indexing rewards. So even though some of you may think that the initial criteria are way too lenient, we are actually capturing quite a large amount of the stake that is currently going to low or no value served on the network. I think let's see here. So subscribe to real-time notifications on Telegram. Yeah, I see you, Marc-André, you looked at this as well. Like, again, this is something that is still work in progress. I left the feedback on this. This does not allow you to input your index address as is. I've left an input there that I would love for it to be a Telegram bot that notifies you if you fall into the grace period, notifies you probably every single day of your grace period, and also if you're ineligible. But it may not be a bot where you want to subscribe to all changes unless you are running some like, if I know there are some communities pages that likes to keep up to date with all the changes. But yeah, that this is all work in progress, and something that we will be talking on more on these sessions, and also on the work index experience working group calls as well. And Polly, you asked if there will be any iterations of this, several iterations of this criteria moving forward. Yeah, yes, the intention is that this criteria will be dynamic and will be increasing. And one of the ideas that I will be promoting, and that I think both as an indexer and as a foundation member that I would love to see, is that larger indexers are encouraged to provide more value on the network because they do get more indexing rewards. So someone with 1 million GRT total staked shouldn't have to provide the same level of service or serve the same amount of subgraphs as someone that is having 100 million GRT in stake. I think that is something that that is something that I would love to work out some criteria there in such a way that also large indexes do not feel forced to leave. Like it should be a fair like a fair number. And I know that some of these I know that some, like all of these concerns as well with not knowing which subgraphs you're getting queries from. So it should be a lenient enough number that indexes do not start to panic, and that they that we can feel confident that we are able to meet the criteria. So yeah, that dynamic criteria based on stake is something that I will be promoting, and I will not be taking that decision. It will be something that we will be working through both on this group and then the index experience working group. So
You got a couple of questions in here, Slim.
yeah,
While you're
a
going through
couple
everything,
more.
Yeah.
Any plans to get rid of subgraphs that don't have queries in the last 30 days? So it's and I guess you can take it together with got a new curation first, so the rewards aren't left on the table. Create a slashing if no queries. So I think one of the that is not coupled with this proposal. Like this proposal would be purely based on actually serving queries and showing that you have even if you follow indexing rewards, you should be able to meet these criteria, and even if you do it. But I agree that we should be looking into like dead subgraphs, especially if they have been dead over a long time. The part where I would be like there is also quite a bit of concern with slashing people who are inactive. It's well, there are some there's some argument to say that if you go and if you buy a bread in the bakery, there's no one that will come and take that bread if you didn't eat it in time. And the signal is a capital allocation, and that was the intention. But I do also know that the capital allocation that is needed is far less than what the indexing rewards are being how the indexing rewards are being distributed. So it's not a good mechanism as it currently is. I understand that, and there's also this argument that some consumers may need something to be available without querying it very often. Like for example, in Infradal, we have backup servers that would just have a snapshot of an RPC. Does it ever get queried? Does it ever get queried? Do we ever use it? No, but it's still there. It's still valuable for us to keep it around as storage. I think we just need to have a good idea of how we can balance that, because currently, like, storage alone shouldn't be shouldn't be getting all of the indexing awards. We should ensure that queries are also served. So
Yeah, I think you're getting a lot of agreement in the chat there. Vince is echoing some of what you're saying and also just adding a few notes there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the balance, yeah, like getting the balance right, where if somebody wants to have like pay using capital allocation to have something available, like it's if you store a car, even if you don't use the car, you want to make sure that it's ready for when you use it. At the same time, um, the protocol is far skewed towards just storage and not towards serving queries. And I hope this can be a good incentive already, because if somebody is no longer querying the subgraph, it may no longer be as enticing for indexers to serve as well.
That's hilarious, Slim. I do like that analogy. I did laugh when you said that.
Get
I mean, you need to
yeah.
get it ready, right? For when you use it.
But it is like in Web3, it is an issue, but like that's why we have so many issues with IPFS. Is that IPFS is a pure storage layer, and there's no data availability guarantee. So people are like, yeah, I don't know. It's a problem in this. Like we know that subgraphs, we are encouraging people to use subgraphs and other data services for critical components and critical features in their apps. And if we are to delete it, like for example, I've seen plenty of times people are deploying a mainnet subgraph before they have their mainnet really ready to go, before they open up for the public. And they may even just want to pay for a fallback option as well. They may run their own graph node and pay for a fallback option. Is it the right approach? No, but we also need to make sure that we don't aggravate too many users. So this has been a priority now. I know that Vince and a couple of others have been promoting the idea of going through old subgraphs and looking at ways that they are no longer needed to be served.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are working on this. It makes a lot of sense. There's a question here from Matthew saying maybe can update the project board with what is the priorities, and this is in relation to your link there, Slim, in terms of the graph node link.
Yeah, I think the project board itself. Are you talking about the project board, the internal graph node project board? I don't think that is being like that. So that is not publicly visible, but we can. That's definitely a good idea to ensure that that's happening. But that is also something that the graph node team is taking internally. So. And yeah, I'm happy to circle back to this topic as well on another occasion. But I just want to make sure that we completely separate this proposal that is already voted through by the council and that will be live as soon as possible. And also we can definitely start working on a proposal with the subgraph side as well. So. But yeah, I'm on a 16-hour flight tomorrow. I won't be doing it tomorrow, Matthew. Yeah, Horizon is coming and the Rio is coming very soon. So these will be 2 major changes, and we can look into what it can look like to to improve the subgraph cleanup. But yeah, and the index of feedback report will get back to that. I believe. Abel, you can tell me when you want me to
Next
come
week,
on.
yeah, 4th of November.
Next week, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Cool. I'll let you wrap it up then.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for joining, as always. And you know what I'm going to say. We'll be back same time next week for another edition. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you again next week. Take care. Bye-bye.